Hey everybody, how are you? Welcome to the show. Welcome to Friday night, everyone. We made it. We did it. We did it together, and I was glad to be part of it. And who am I? Well, I am Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live on a Friday night. Welcome to the show, everybody. We have got some fun for you. Wasn't last night's show a blast? We had Tim Imholt on here giving us the 411 on the financial situation going on within Hasbro, in as much as any of us civilians can know. So that was a lot of fun. And we've got guests coming next week. But my week's not over. I still do for you guys, because tomorrow at what did we say, Yang? Did we say was it 2 or was it 3 Eastern? We are going to be convening the Nerd Council of Doom. We're going to talk about pop culture. We're going to talk about newsy related stuff that you guys will enjoy. And we're going to do it for you guys. We're going to live stream it for you guys. And if you think, well, finally he gets to relax, nope. I've got another one. I will be over at 5 p.m. at the Nerd Cognito Speakeasy. Ryan David is out. Kyle is running the show over there. Not our Kyle. Their Kyle. There are many Kyles, but only ours. That's right. 3 p.m. on Dungeon Minister's channel is when the Nerd Council of Doom will convene. But anyway, yes, I'll be on the speakeasy with Kyle. Ryan David's out, so they said, "Hey, could you do this for us?" I said, "Could I do it for you? Could I do it for you? Could I do it for you? Yeah, of course. I'll be there. I'll be there, and hopefully some of you folks will too, because it'll be a good, fun time. At least I think. You know, if you tune in like 30 minutes in and I'm curled up in a ball crying and there's, flames erupting on Kyle's camera, well, then, it was either really fun or not fun at all. But I'm not sure any of that's going to happen. And then I get a day off. I won't be streaming. There won't be any sudden streams on Sunday. That just ain't going to happen. So, and then we just start the whole thing over again on Monday, because that's what I do. And another thing that I do, in case you're not aware, if you're newly subscribed, and to go by the subscriber count, you're probably not. But if you're a new subscriber and you don't know what it is we do around here, let me tell you, 5 nights a week, we live stream tabletop RPG stuff. We live stream shows with guests. We live stream actual plays of tabletop RPGs of the old school variety, I might add. And we have a damn bit of fun doing it. Plus, there's interstitial videos. So maybe the waves of YouTube, the eddies and currents of the internet have brought you here. And if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications. And if you're watching this video at some point in the future, greetings, future man. Give the video a thumbs up if you like. If you're watching live right now, give the video a thumbs up. And leave a comment down below and let me know what you think, because it really helps work that algorithm when you guys do it. So I do appreciate it. So anyway, we are slowly but surely, our Gamma World players are trickling in here, and we're going to be playing some classic Gamma World for you guys. We are, for a little while tonight, we're short 1 player, but he will be along shortly, I would think. Anyway, just looking over your comments, it seems to be a bunch of hellos. Mercury wants to know, what dastardly schemes will the Nerd Council of Doom have for us this month? Probably a lot of talk about, I don't know, maybe movies. This is kind of a dead zone. Well, we'll talk about that tomorrow. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into it right now. But anyhow, So yeah, as quick as Doom Sword logs in, we're gonna get going on. Yang yells Avatar, which means at some point, I don't know, tonight when I should be sleeping, I'll have to watch some of it. But we'll find out. Wesley Henry, good to see you. How the heck are you? Michael Mertig, Jorge Uribe, Greg Myers, Clark Witten, Local Gumby, Doc Flamingo finally made it. See, yeah, you come around to this side and you come in through these doors. If you were standing by those doors over there waiting for them to open, well, then, you just missed the whole thing. Michael Dale. But anyhow, well, I'm here, Wesley. I'm here. Now, see, my money's on Solomon Grundy. Because think about it. He's an immortal undead. Any investments Solomon made, they're paying off. He's got land in Louisiana, guys. Yeah, okay, Lex has caught the tech wave. I get it. But think about it. I think Solomon Grundy's got pretty deep pockets. But anyhow, so yeah, we're gonna be getting on that. We're gonna be getting on that Gamma World hype train just as soon as some more players filter in. And if they don't soon enough, then we'll go with what we've got. It's because, guys, let me tell you something about our Let's Plays. Look, I don't have writers' rooms meetings. We don't have script readings. I could slay the lot of them in 5 minutes tonight, and then we spend the rest of the evening cooking up new characters. That's the way a tabletop RPG really works. There are no seasons. There are no favored characters who never die. That's the way it works. So Michael Mertig, you're going to make me dig into my deep Super Friends lore here. Solomon Grundy, according to Super Friends, Solomon Grundy was, and this is 1970s or very early 1980s cartoons, so they were not afraid to mention this. But yeah, Solomon Grundy was a corpse floating in a swamp, and the power of this magic stone reanimated him, and he tells the Legion of Doom about this stone, and then they go on a crime spree to acquire all the things to get it, but they're thwarted by the Justice League, of course. But anyway, so that is as far as I know, that's Solomon Grundy. I mean, there may be some DC fans out there in the audience right now who are tearing their hair out, rending their clothes, throwing ashes on their heads, whatever, saying, no, that's horrible, that's terrible, that's all wrong. But Solomon Grundy. I remember Solomon Grundy always referred to himself in third person with redneck accent. Solomon Grundy. But anyway, so I see now we have Doom Sword in the green room. We've talked about a whole bunch of silly stuff. Why don't I just put my headphones on? And we'll welcome Doom Sword. We'll welcome Doom Sword. We'll welcome Yang. We'll welcome Kennek in to the chat here momentarily. Yes, Mercury. The original Super Friends had the best opening theme music. But if you start your day with that, you're going to have a fantastic day. But anyway, let us begin. And let us say hello and good evening to Yang Yanzhao as Rex Dashington.
Good evening.
Good evening to you, sir. Let us also say hello, even though it's Friday, I'm bringing you Monday. Everybody say hello to Connect as Monday.
Hello, peeps.
And of course, he's probably sane. He's definitely Doomsword Deathmaster. Everybody give a big shout out to our third Warrior of the Wasteland tonight.
Hey, what's up?
All right. So last week, the party had crash landed their bubble car near an ancient military fortress that was highly irradiated. In your explorations, as you moved on, you found a great, huge expanse of the leveled, flattened, stone-like surface that the ancients seemed to cover acres with. It was cracked, but for the most part, unbroken. Situated in series down its length, separated by at least a few kilometers each that you could see in the distance, there were massive circular holes. Some of them had what looked like great valves that had been opened back. Patrolling right along the edge of this vast expanse of concrete and these empty missile silos, you saw a great treaded thing that seemed to move along the perimeter with frightening rapidity given its gargantuan size, although it paid you no notice until you approached the perimeter. Then it took a frightening degree of interest in you. Leaving this behind, you continued on through the wastes until you located what seemed to be a settlement, a town of some sort. Confronted by the guards on the walls of this town, you entered, and at their let, those of you who have power armor removed the power armor, and you find yourself in the middle of this town that it sits perhaps 10, 15 kilometers away from the aforementioned strange patrolling machine. It's a bustling, dirty place. You don't immediately see any mutants that you recognize as you don't see Orlin or anything like that. Although you do see a couple of batters who are in a cage that is suspended over a tank of water, and various folks are paying some form of currency to throw a hard ball at a lever that, when struck, drops the cage into the tank of water, to the great cheers and appreciation of everyone watching. Then, after 30 or 40 seconds, it's slowly dragged up. The spitting, coughing, spluttering, almost completely drowned batters are then given the business once again. There are clearly marked taverns. You do see some folks. Most everyone has some kind of weapon, a knife, projectile weapons of some kind. No one is really toting any heavy weapons. There are periodically towers, and standing atop those towers, you see, at least at what you think at glance, are pure strain humans wearing some kind of armor. And they appear to have heavy weapons. They seem to be kind of keeping an eye on things and keeping the peace. There are many shops. As you're kind of standing there taking it all in, you hear someone squawk out in a reedy voice behind you, hot soup coming through. And you hear kind of a jangling bell noise. And riding through the midst of your group, there's a sort of a pedal-propelled 3-wheel vehicle. It's very strange. You've never seen something like this. You think you've seen the remains, the ruins of them in cities, but they just had 2 wheels. This has 3 wheels. And here's a fellow who looks mostly human, except he has a bird's head, which is not terribly unusual, but he's coming through, and sitting between the 2 wheels on the front are a pair of people. He seems to be conveying them somewhere through the through the dusty streets of this settlement. There could easily be, just based on your estimate, that this could be a huge sprawling settlement. There may be as many as 1,000 or 1,500 souls here. So, there's a market, there's all the aforementioned types. What do you guys wish to do?
Probably start looking around for bubble car parts.
Okay. There are a few different vendors that have piles of salvaged scrap. Do-Re-Mi says, oh, well, this is probably the best place to start over here. I mean, who knows what they've got?
I wonder if they have a rad cack here too.
I'm sorry, if they have a what?
A rad cack, like the last place.
Oh, a rad cack. Okay, these structures, this place appears to have been built organically. Like these structures were all kind of brought together. This is actually not, at least what you see in the portion you're in. This appears to be built from the ground up in recent times.
So it's a hodgepodge after the cities. It's not ruins. Okay, got it.
Right. So he says, listen, you guys maybe scrounge up something to eat, or man does not live by McNeural Chorts alone. I'm gonna look for parts.
Okay.
So again, there's many other shops and so on and etc. Is there something?
Rex, if you need some help, because you can communicate between the suits.
Didn't we leave the suits outside?
Yeah, you were ordered to basically.
Okay.
You parked your suits. They were they put them basically in a place that probably the best description would be a cage. You didn't see a lock, but there was a guard there who closes the bars after you guys come out of your suits.
Hopefully we got a number for the check.
Yes. There's a few more spots like that, but that's the only one occupied. But
do they have any? Normally, I'd say like an antique store. Do they have like a store of the ancients?
You know what? Let's see how your luck is running on that. I have a little bit of fun with it. Did we see something? We did see something on the screen. I'm a dice head. Fear me. Nothing as such. Now go away. Thank you. Nothing as such that seems purpose made for that, but a few things do catch your eye. There is the shoppy of protection which is selling items that appear to be made from scraps of things of the ancients. You recognize there's an octagonal, perhaps maybe 2/3 of a meter across metal shield that says "stop" on the front. It's red. It's kind of banged up. Similarly, there's a triangular yellow one that says "yield," and there are various club-like implements, bows, arrows, also a few leaf spring crossbows, that sort of thing. But those are made from. You don't really see anything that looks like it's preserved. Like, hey, we're selling this. This is from the old world.
Maybe ask and see if they know of any local stores that might.
Lizard on a stick. Lizard on a stick. You're hungry. Lizard on a stick.
My intent is to, or Prowler's intent is to hang out in the local areas, get an idea of the lay of the land, and find out if anybody knows anything about Minot Air Force, Minot AFB.
Okay. All right. So, you ask a few people, and correct me if I'm wrong, but do you not have a pretty good charisma there?
I do think it's pretty good. Yes. It's a 19.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, you ask people and they're more than willing to talk to you. That's as horribly abrasive as you are. There's just some kind of charm about you that people just can't seem to get enough of.
It's because I rarely wear underwear.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
So let's see. With bonuses included, you're chatting up a fellow who, aside from a small pair of eyes that are just above his eyes, otherwise appears to be a pure strain human. And he said, "Oh yes, the fortress of Minot. That is a fabled place. It's guarded by a terrible mechanical beast, though. There are some pieces of it," and he kind of gestures around you. There are some pieces of the outer buildings right here in Trade Town. Things that we have scavenged and brought. What do you wish to know of it, traveler?
I was just wondering if anybody ever infiltrated it, because we walked around the perimeter and it was dangerous business.
Yes. The glow is powerful there, and it can twist and corrupt. And we are instructed by the mission commander to remain away lest it damage us. He is wise in these ways. But and of course there's the terrible mechanical beast. There are some who are able to live in the perimeter, but we consider it too dangerous. So we remain here.
Sure thing, man. I find it too dangerous too. How'd this place spring up anyways?
Well, word spread that this was a safe place. Some say that it was built from the ruins of the ancient places. Others say that it was once a fortress of a warlord, but it was made a welcoming place for all who travel through this area of the wastes near Fortress Minot.
Yeah, who runs Trade Town?
That is Mission Commander who runs Trade Town.
All right.
He kind of gestures and peeking over the shanties and buildings built out of cinder brick and plasteel slabs and everything that were obviously from other places. You see a similarly constructed but 3-story high, kind of squat, almost keep-like structure that's, maybe a couple 100 meters away. He's gesturing.
Right on. I'll just, assuming I'm in some sort of tavern, eatery type of thing, I'll just partake of some drink and some food and, hang out and see if there's anything interesting else that comes my way.
Yeah, there's an ancient transparasteel and plastic sign. The transparasteel came from one place, obviously, and the plastic came from somewhere completely different, but it's somehow been adhesed together. So it reads the mug of cup. So you're not sure exactly what it is, but there's you smell cooking food, and there's drink being poured out, all that sort of thing. So while you're chatting him up, Rex, you've been talking to the weapons vendor. Are you moving on, or are you kind of continuing that conversation?
I think I'm gonna ask him, good sir, I see many items here, but looking for something little special, if you know what I mean. Do you perhaps happen to have a back room?
Let's see. What's Rex's charisma?
Well, it used to be good. Actually, it's 15. That's not bad.
Okay, yeah, no, it's really good. He kind of looks back and forth and says, I know nothing of such things, and I take great offense at your attempt to question me about that. Why, I should fight you in the alley right behind my shop, you brigand. And he pushes your shoulder and then goes,
Rex will go, oh, have at you, good sir, in that alley.
all right. So we'll come back to you. What is Monday doing?
Out of character, Kevin's on. But
I know.
Okay.
I can see that.
Sure. Monday's just kind of sitting back, watching all of this happen.
Okay. And finally, I know you've been listening to this fervently on your mobile device, Kevin, so you're right up to speed. I don't have to tell you anything.
Sure. Yeah.
We'll just go with that.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you guys are in this city in the middle of the dusty plains north of Minot. And you're currently pawing through bins of junk looking for any place to begin finding the framestats, the trifold molybdenum prefamulated amulite, the self-rotating wane shaft, all the stuff you need to fix the bubble car. It could take you weeks to dig through this stuff, and that's just to sort it. So that's you're kind of doing that right now.
Okay. Yeah. Feels like I'm back in the 1980s.
Yeah, exactly. So Rex Dashington, the guy kind of looks around. In here, my friend. You've got the Domars. I've got the hardware. Now, all of this stuff is technically legal, but the mission commander, he doesn't take with energy weapons that much. So I have to be discreet about who I sell to and for. What's your pleasure? There are crates, plasteel containers, all kinds of stuff. You recognize at least the outsides of some of these because they're like this sort of dark green color, and there's faded white stars or yellow stars on them.
Well, Rex is going to say, technically legal is my favorite kind of legal. And he, what would Rex want? Do you happen to have any nuclear power cells?
Oh, no, nothing like that. No, that's got the glow, and that, he kind of pushes his bandana back, and he's got like one little ram's horn growing out of his forehead. That leads to this. No, just clean stuff. I've got slug throwers. I've got, I've got laser guns. Those are technically not forbidden.
That sounds pretty good. What do you have in the way of armor?
Oh, just the stuff you saw out there. Shields. I've got some carapace and hide suits. He kind of sizes you up. He unwraps from an oilcloth this device. It's a rough square. It's got a yellow sticker in the middle of it. You hear sort of a snick sound, and he carefully runs a thin strip of metal down the length of you and goes, almost 2 meters tall. I'd have to make some adjustments, but if it's carapace you're looking for, if you give me a day or two, I could get you something. It'll take the sting out of a slug. Won't do much for any energy weapons used against you, mind. But that and a shield, one of those rebar pig stickers I sell, you could survive in the waste with it.
Would you happen to have one of those talking boxes of the ancients? The ones where you could talk to people at a distance?
No, that's not really what I sell. I mean, that sounds like Orland stuff. They don't come through here much.
It's a shame. Well, I've got some friends I'm going to send down here. I think maybe they could use a little stuff. Would you happen to have any? You don't have any nuclear power cells. What about a solar battery or some other kind of batteries?
I've only got for personal use.
Oh, well.
I run a few lights in my homestead with, but nothing that I sell. Most of what I've got, I make.
It's very commendable that you make. Out of curiosity, where do you source a lot of these parts?
Now, other traders bring things in. Sometimes I'll brave one of the nearby ruins or something like that.
We are looking for some parts for ancient vehicles. If you could point us in the right direction, we would happily pay a finder's fee on our safe return.
Money promised after a safe return doesn't really fill my belly or keep my family fed.
Well, Rex is going to say that's true, but I'll tell you what. I'll give you 5 domars now. And if our venture proves fruitful and we find some of the parts, or even if it's not exactly the parts, if they're vehicles of the ancient, then I will give you more.
I appreciate the offer, but 5 domars isn't but half a kilo of rice and some dried vegetables. If you're not going to buy any of the high-end stuff, I need to get back out, make sure nobody's made off with a hand knife or anything like that.
All right. Well, I'm sorry we couldn't come to an agreement. I will tell my friends about your shop, though, and see if perhaps they'd be interested in some of your wares. Good luck to you, friend.
Thank you. He goes through a beaded curtain back towards the front and says, you can just let yourself out through the alley. If we both go out that way, it might look a little sussy.
All right. Rex will wait the appropriate amount of time and then go back out.
Okay. When you step out into the alley, you've got your eyes on. This is a strange place. So, you kind of look left and right. You're not surprised. There are 3 men there. They are wearing riot armor that looks like it has been daubed in black paint.
All right.
With a little silver star painted on the chest. They have bubble helmets and closed face shields. And one of them says to the other, yes, I think this is him. Come with us, please.
Oof.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Yes, you can. Please just come with us.
What? I'll of course go with you, but what is this in regards to?
He starts walking, and the 2 that were on the other side of him, which would now be behind you if you turn and follow him, take a step forward. So they're kind of moving you along. He's not talking to you. I'm just saying that that's the movement that's going on. So if you're not moving, let me know.
Rex will slow roll the walk and see if he gets an answer.
Okay. Someone very important wants to talk to you. Back over, probably sane. You're still sitting in the cup of mug, or was it the mug of cup? I don't. It just
mug of cup.
The mug of cup. You're sitting in the mug of cup. And they have a local barley-based alcohol drink that it's bitter and fizzy, so kind of like you.
Perfect. A match made in hell.
Indeed. And for the price of telling them a little bit of the outside world, at least for this round, you're drinking for free.
Oh, sweet. I do have coin, so I'll continue to drink. He's he's not like a prodigious drinker or whatever, but he'll drink.
Okay, so there you are. Go ahead.
No, I just said Andy. Anything he can get his hands on. It's been a while, right?
So yeah, there's something with beans and rice and a little bit of meat and some kind of brown sauce that makes your eyes water and your mouth burn, but the barley ale is just putting that fire out. Everyone's laughing. You're kind of coming up to the point of, and believe me, I'm not trying to run your character for you. So what stories are you telling them? Let me ask you that. What stories are you telling them?
The more inebriated I get, assuming this stuff has the capability of being inebriated or causing inebriation, I'm telling the Disney stories. I'm telling
they're eating the Disney stories up. When you get to the part about the ancient leader robots coming out and saying ancient quotes and then opening up on you guys with blasters, they're like, some people are clearly terrified, other folks are laughing, and yeah, you're whatever this barley drink, this foamy barley drink is, it is very pleasant to be sitting down and eating. I mean, they bring you another plate of the thin, flat slices of bread with the rice, the beans, and the little bit of meat piled on it. They just want to keep you there talking to you. But you notice that the enthusiastic murmur and and that thing was called a Mickey Mouse. All that kind of talk sort of tapers off. And you hear a clunk of heavy boots behind you.
Yeah, I'll turn to regard it.
Okay.
Or the cause of it.
It is a fellow in a gray jumpsuit underneath black painted riot armor. bubble helmet, visor down, and he leans down and he says, when you're finished with your beer and your plate of food, would you come with me, please, sir?
What's up, my man?
Your presence has been requested. I was sent to collect you.
It's all right, whatever. When in Rome, I heard that from somewhere sometime in the long distant past. I'll slam my beer.
All right.
And then pour the plate or whatever bowl down my throat. I'll catch you guys later. I got important stuff to do. And I'll go with this guy.
Okay. What is Monday up to right now?
She's just kind of kicking back, being quiet, observing, blending in.
Okay. Well, if you're not doing anything specifically, just as you're kind of standing on the street there are a couple, same for you, two of these uniformed folks approach you and say, "Pardon us, miss. Would you please come with us?"
Sure. Can I ask what's it's in regards to?
Oh, you're going to a meeting. Kevin, Doremi is digging through parts.
I'm looking in the bins.
Yeah, you got all excited when you saw what looked like the motherboard of an anti-grav alluvial damper computer system, and you turned it over, and every surface-mounted component was just sheared right off.
Damn it! This junk.
Yeah, and you keep going through these things.
It was a Robotron JAMA board.
Yeah, there you go.
The harness is missing again, and this one has a damn drive lock. What the hell's with these guys?
Yeah. Like there's another box marked motherboards that you get excited about, and when you look in, you can see that all of their BIOS and timekeeping batteries have long ago burst and eaten holes through them. So you're approached.
As I'm bent over looking through the bin, I turn my head behind me and say, "What the hell do you want? Can you help me find a useful part in this damn box of crap?"
Perhaps later, sir. Your presence is requested.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
really.
I was that well known. Where's it requested? Let me ask. Am I being asked?
Well, it's entirely up to you, sir, but if you would, please. He gestures along the street next to the marketplace, and there's this 3-story sort of sturdy yet ramshackle-looking building near the center of town.
I'm going to look around and see if my friends are here. Seems like they're not.
Yeah, you see Monday walking between a pair of these guys. She's just chatting them up, and they're yes,
Well, hell, I guess. So we're just gonna walk. Okay, sure. My presence is requested. I'll make my presence known. I guess.
Yeah, he said, "Am I being detained? I am a free wastelander navigating across the land.
I do not acknowledge your authority over me.
If I sign my name in all block letters with black ink, angular across the page, it means that." Anyway,
this flag on my uniform with the fringe. No, let's just not even go there.
Okay. I don't acknowledge the authority of a naval court. Anyway, moving on. So, yes. Long story short, you guys are brought into the first story of this building is very, very familiar. I think probably Sane, at least. You had been to Outpost 76 once upon a time, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The bottommost floor of this building appears to be like the fusion form bricks, the transparent steel window, the plasteel doors, that sort of thing. Almost identical to Outpost 76, although there's no markings on it that indicate that it was like that building other than the shape and design. And built onto it, a couple of stories are less sturdy, but still, like I said, fairly sturdy stories, one on top of the other. And they're not being pushy. There's no, like, you don't see like people in stocks or anything in front of it, no execution posts. But you go in and there's a section has been refurbished, so there's a flight of stairs. At a desk, you all see someone very slowly and meticulously typing in front of an electronic device, and with one eye that kind of comes out. They regard you all. It goes back in. Proctor, thank you for bringing them all. I trust that you are finding you are finding Trade Town to your liking. Yes.
Sure.
He stands up and you notice his hair is, at first you think, okay, his hair is kind of blowing in the faint breeze that's coming through the opening as you guys enter. Then you realize it's just kind of swaying anemone like. And then you realize that the hairs aren't individual hairs. It's like thick. It's like I said, it's like an anemone. Good to see you all. Welcome, travelers. May I have your names, please? He cracks his fingers. Distressingly, he pushes his hands like all the way back before you hear the knuckles crack, and he starts to type again.
Well, I don't know. I think we're kind of wondering what this is all about,
Fear not, Outlander. All will be revealed in good time. I was asked to request your presence here, and I am sure that it was for a good reason. No harm is meant to you whatsoever.
Yeah, all right, man. I'm probably saying.
I see that by the markings on your forehead and your name.
It's the same. Probably same.
I see it. Perhaps it is an affiliation of your tribe to do such things. And you hear the faint clack of the keys. And you, my dear, are you? What is your name?
My name is Monday. May I inquire what your name is, sir?
Oh, my name is Randolph. I am Randolph.
Nice to meet you,
and-
Randolph.
Well met. And you, sir, the blonde fellow, the tall fellow. Rex, he's pointing at you.
Oh,
I just look around wondering who's talking.
Rex,
That's what I was doing.
Rex will say, "What? My hair went blonde," and he'll shake his luscious mane of hair
Yes.
to check it out. And he says, "I'm Rex Dashington."
He types that in, and you hear a faint from inside the console that he's typing on. This faint, neat. He arches an eyebrow, distressingly far up. Very well. And your name?
I don't mean to interrupt. I don't know if you noticed, but Rex Dashington also has a wife and a child that he abandoned back in cryo. Just saying.
I try not to judge friends.
They're safe there. We're looking for a cure, amongst other things.
And you, sir,
No, my name's Doe.
is that with an H?
It's just D-O. Yeah.
I see. So no H.
No,
Just-
although, I wouldn't be offended if you used the H. It's silent,
Click, click.
About him, and like that's my best buddy. One day he told me if you said "su do," then he would do whatever you said.
Yep.
I am afraid that I do not understand the reference. At any rate, now that your names have been entered in the terminal, please take the flight of stairs up to the top floor, the door at the end of the hallway. You are expected.
There's no book for us to sign?
I have your information here in the device of storage. Why would I need you to sign a book?
Oh, okay. Just wondering. All good. Thank you.
As
Have
we
a great
walk,
day, Mr. Randolph.
Mm-hmm.
As we walk by, Rex is going to try to get a glimpse of whatever's on the screen. See what made him raise an eyebrow.
Give me a D20 roll for Rex. Oh, I don't know if the dice roll is. It is working for you. Okay. Yeah, you can't make it out as you walk past because you're walking past. You see like 3 lines of data. There's a 4th line of data that is in red, and there's like a paragraph underneath it. And he is switching to something else just as you see that.
Bad news, probably.
So do you guys head up?
Yeah, we'll walk the way he pointed.
Okay. So you see a couple of functionaries walking by. They've got rolled up tubes of paper and so on. They kind of regard you. This doesn't seem like an incredibly high security building. Like, there's going to be laser turrets popping out of the ceiling, or, power armored security forces locking you guys down. But I'll leave it up to y'all to determine on how on your guard you want to be or not. But they're at the end of the hallway. And it's curious, probably Sane and Doremi, you guys recognize this hallway appears to be almost a uniform piece of metal. And you think it is an ancient shipping container. Like they literally just hoisted it up here, bolted it on, and cut holes through it to make part of the building out of it. But it's pleasant, it's not dimly lit or anything. You don't hear the coughs and wheezes of people being tortured in there. At the end is a set of wooden double doors that were clearly cut, that too big to fit there and cut to fit at the end. So
I'd say impressive, but it's kind of low tech.
When you live in what is still a semi-functional automated defense bunker, yeah, something like this might be a little bit. You might be a little bit jaded.
So
Okay.
handles on the door, knockers. What's on there?
Just handles, just polished brass handles.
What do you think?
Well, if they're ancient, it's very possible they're push or pull. We just don't know until we try it.
Well, obviously we're going to visit command here because this is the administrative offices, so we might want to be on our bests and be aware and ready.
Man, I'm always on my best behavior.
Doe, you're the technical expert, so why don't you try the door?
Okay, I'll look at it, and if it looks like a pull handle, I'm going to push while I'm looking at Rex.
It swings open.
See?
You put your
Like I
hand
told
you put your hand on the handle, and It swings open. This is a moderately largish room. There's a desk behind it. There's one of the ancient terminals. The two most striking features in the room are not how well appointed it is or is not. It's the figure that sits behind the desk, or figures, I should say. And you're not sure which is the most startling.
I hope it's
There's
not
a
robot. I hope
fellow.
it's not a robot.
There's a fellow in a metal chair. He's huge. He has to weigh at least 300 kilos. He's got some kind of breathing device attached to his nose somehow. There's a tube that goes down to somewhere behind this thing. He's basically wearing just great drapes of cloth for clothes, like robes. He looks like just the effort of lifting his head up to look at you guys is a great strain. Standing next to him is, you guys all immediately recognize, is Birdie, the obvious psychic that you guys had encountered when you first approached the town. He raises a hand and gestures at you all and says, "I must apologize for the imposition, my friends. But as you can see, I'm not in much condition to come down and greet you myself. Please, have a seat."
Yeah, man, we came to find out what this is about. You gonna tell us or not? I'll take your seat.
Of course, my friends.
I take a seat.
First,
Are there enough seats?
oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
They're different types, but yeah, they're.
I took the best one.
Damn it! I wanted the arms.
I must welcome you to Trade Town. I do not usually welcome the various folks from the plains and further away who come here, but you see, I had monitored your progress towards our little borough. It's not every day that we have folk wearing suits of power armor and wielding radiation weapons just walk into our happy little community. A moment. He adjusts something and on wherever the hose is going and takes a deep breath. And then he looks at Birdie and says, No, it's all right, dear. It's all right. Here, you sit down. What? Yes, of course. It's all right. And again, it's kind of unsettling because Birdie has a blindfold across its face and an eye either drawn or tattooed on its forehead. And it's looking straight at you. So, I welcome you all to Trade Town, this most unusual group who came here in a bubble car, but unfortunately, the surface-to-air missile systems that are still functioning in Minot Air Force Base shot you down. Did you not heed the automated warning system near the ADIZ? Or was your communication system simply not functioning?
I tell you what, Doe screwed us. All right, that's what actually happened. But that's okay, because he saved our junk a bunch of times.
Rex is going to give Doe the side eye.
I understand.
I just
I'm
put
going
my
to act like
arms
I
up
don't even
shrugging.
notice. I'm quite used to this, so I'm just going to act like it's another day at Grandma's house.
It's hard to tell if he's smiling. It's hard to tell if he's got any expression on his face at all other than absolute exhaustion. Well, you, of course, must all immediately be wondering why it is that I invited you into my office. You see, I am, or at least once upon a time, I was Mission Commander Charles Thompson, United States Air Force.
What's this, the United States Air Force? What's the United States, anyways? What's an Air Force? What's all that crap?
The United States, my friend, was once long ago, centuries ago, before the fall, a mighty kingdom that lay between the two oceans to the east and the west, bordered by the Kingdom of Canada and the Kingdom of Mexico.
Man, this joker's telling us he's been alive for hundreds of years. Man, I don't
Saying
know.
that myself.
Is this one of Rex's relatives? Because it seems like that might kind of be the case. Except if it was one of Rex's relatives, they'd be frozen, and he'd probably just leave right now, anyways.
I kind of look over at the Birdman and I think there is a bond between the two of them that might account for some of it, but I'm just guessing.
Well, if you will allow me to continue, your friend's droll and convoluted sense of humor aside. Long ago, as mankind became more jaded and self-concerned, only focusing on relentless narcissism and personal self-improvement of the vainglorious kind, there was those within the scientific and military communities who felt that an apotheosis for good or ill was approaching humankind. And to this end, if it be destructive, it was deemed that perhaps humanity, or what was left of it, would have to seek its fortune elsewhere among the stars. A planet was discovered orbiting a distant red dwarf star. Its name is not important, but I will tell it to you if you care to know.
Yeah.
It was called Glaise, was the name of the star. And it had several planets around it that we had discovered over the centuries using the finest of instruments. And I, the Dungeon Master, need to stop talking like that. I'm starting to get dizzy.
I was wondering how long it would be.
A plan was put in motion. A plan to hedge our fortunes against, well, what you have realized in your lifetimes. A great vessel was built in orbit around the Earth. It was peopled with tens of thousands of volunteers who went into cryosleep on board the ship. It was to await a command team that would journey to the ship in the event of a disaster. And then we would take this ship, called the Warden, across the stars to a new world, uncorrupted by nanotechnology, by viruses, by radiations, by the destructive impulses of vainglorious fools bent on ruling over the ruins. And then slowly we could raise up those who had the spirit and the desire to begin anew on that distant world. We would make this new earth our home, and then at the right time return and cleanse and heal here. I was part of the initial command team, so ordained. I slept in a cryo chamber here on Earth in a special ship inside one of the silos that you no doubt saw in Minot. But for whatever reason, radiation, the bombs, tampering or interference by someone who did not know any better, our shuttle was not launched. An automated system released me and the rest of my crew. The only survivor here is poor Miss Birdwell. And he reaches over and gently takes her seemingly tiny hand in his huge one. Only we survived after we left cryostasis. We began to plot anew how we could get the shuttle functional again. It seemed to be in sound condition, and commit ourselves to our duties. There were others, survivors within the base, who had stayed in deep bunkers, and we planned to help them as well. We built a small community within the base, and we flourished for a while. But there were those who were envious of what we had, intractable foes who would not trade with us, who would not barter with us. We thought ourselves invulnerable, but like insane primates who had no conception of what they had, they gained access to a radiological weapon and detonated it over our settlement, and all was laid waste. The lucky ones, they perished immediately. The rest of us, he levers himself up slowly and painfully, and he is just, yeah. And then he sits back down, mutated, our genes corrupted by the power of the atom. Upon the Warden is the technology that can cleanse me and remove the curses of we few unlucky survivors, and indeed those on this cursed earth that we can help. But therein lies the problem, my friends. Did you see the terrible metal guardian at the gate?
Pretty sure we did.
That, my friend, probably sane, is a Mark 8 Bolo regimental siege unit. The fittest war machine ever forged by human hands, capable of decimating a tank battalion with a single discharge of its infinite repeater, firing frozen deuterium-fused rounds.
Sounds like a bunch of fracking bullshit to me.
I can assure you, my friend, it is not bovine scatology, no. That machine is absolutely capable of destroying anyone or anything that gets too close.
So why'd you bring us here? To get destroyed? Is that what it's all about, my man?
No, my friend. You see, of all the travelers we have thus encountered so far, he leans over the desk painfully and he's resting himself on his palm. The desk is creaking under his weight. And with a trembling hand that he lays very gently on your shoulder, he says, "You have a gift. Your genetic purity, probably sane." He punches a couple of buttons and you hear kind of a mechanical whine. And he holds up this oval, transparent object. It's maybe a few millimeters thick, and it's got this wavy red line engraved in it or somehow showing on it. A genetic encephalographic key. The machine will recognize an unaugmented and unmutated human and allow them to pass through the perimeter. You probably sane, can approach the bolo and deactivate it and allow me to go to the shuttle and travel to orbit to the Warden, where I could be purified and reborn and continue the mission and save this cursed Earth. I am afraid your friends, Do-Re-Mi, with your mental powers, Monday with your empathetic inherent genetic powers, it would treat you as an outsider, as an alien, as a virus to be eliminated. You would be destroyed the minute you crossed less than a nano-angstrom across the Bolo's security line inside the perimeter. I could not send you to such fates. Many have tried. Many promised me that they were pure, and it wasn't until Birdie here learned that she, with her gift, could sense those who were or who were not. And so I ask you, probably sane, will you do this? Will you save me and my extended family? I offer you in return as much as we can spare. The Warden is a mighty ship. Once before the war, before the bombs, I traveled to see it in construction. It is 5 kilometers or more long, at least a kilometer in diameter. It is the size of a great city of the ancients. Well, my friend, what do you say?
Yeah, I gotta ask my friends about that. What do you guys think? Does this even sound like something that makes sense? Because, yeah, I don't know what the difference is, but I mean, I know what the difference is between me and Doe. Some of that stuff's good and some of that stuff's bad, but I don't know what the difference is between the rest of us.
What do you guys say?
What else?
Should I do it?
Are you going alone?
I am
Is he
quite
asking
afraid.
you to go alone?
Your friend would have to. You could approach within a meter of the perimeter, and your friend would have to proceed on it foot by himself from that point.
Is there any way to deactivate this vehicle? We could use it ourselves.
Well, R3X. You see, the Bolo is a self-aware defense vehicle. Although you could order it to stand down It makes its own decisions. It is a complete battlefield unit unto its own, with its own processing and decision-making. It has a command center inside, but it is not capable of being controlled by a person. It is acting on centuries-old programming.
Would it recognize probably Sane as being the one?
Your friend probably Sane's genetics will allow him to approach it. Anyone who has been mutated in any way or has a specific genetic marker because they are, how can I put this delicately, R3X?
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the second time you've called me R3X. That is not my name.
I am sorry. What is the designation that you prefer?
Well, I go by the name Rex Dashington, as it's fabulous, and people tend to respect a leader with a great sounding name. But my real name is Charles Thompson. I was born in New Hampshire.
I see. I understand, my friend. Well, Charles Thompson, I would not ask you to risk your life again. You must have some inkling of what indeed your nature is, do you not?
Well, I use he, him pronouns. I'm a man.
He arches his eyebrow. Well, at any rate, you are not the first Charles Thompson I have encountered before, you see. There are a great many things about yourself from before the war that you may not be aware of.
Do you know what I was doing before the war?
He does have empathy, so, or more than just sympathy. So probably.
You see, there was a soldier who volunteered for a program, a cloning program. The clone's designation was R3X dash. I really wish I had a glass of water right now. R3X-16T0N Rex Dashington. I have encountered a few in the years since I awoke from cryosleep, and they all, to a greater extent, believed themselves to be the one and only. You may truly be him, but my friend, Birdwell and I would not ask you to risk all of your lives. If you can unlock the ship, I can assure you that you will be you will be given the benefit of all the technology on the Warden that can possibly be. It is an island of sanity, no offense meant, son. And technology. We are like folk on a ship looking on a rich and verdant land where we can make no landfall, just within our reach. And that land, that island, is in orbit around us. And if you can get me that key, or if you can take this key and deactivate the bolo and get me to the shuttle, we can begin to turn this world around.
I'm sorry. Assuming your story is correct, how exactly do you know that the ship is in good shape? Because I've been to the moon, and trust me, it does not live up to its reputation.
Well, the present situation that I find myself in, and that is a fair question that you ask me, occurred perhaps 35, 40 years ago now. Before we were attacked, mutated by radiological weapons, I had been monitoring the condition of the warden. It is in as pristine a shape as it was the day it was completed.
Well, probably. It's up to you.
Yeah, well, I'll do it if you guys think it's a good idea. I mean, whatever.
I think it could be your finest moment, sir. And one other thing that I must inform you of. Only Miss Birdwell and I are aware of this. Despite the medical technology that outsiders have brought in, even with some help from the Orlan, dear creatures that they are, I am not long for this world. Please do not hesitate. Help me. Help my family. And he rotates his chair and gestures out onto the dusty streets of Trade Town.
Man, you live like 300 years. And you look like shite. Of course you ain't long for this world. Man, why don't you give somebody else a chance? What about that? But I'll do what you ask. Because my
about a
friends think
research
it's
chamber?
a good idea.
I'm sorry. What did you say, Connect?
What about a regen chamber?
A regen chamber would only prolong the inevitable. It would copy and duplicate, but not correct the genetic errors caused by the radiation that have, I would say, reduced me to this, but have increased me to this. You must forgive me. A joke at my own expense is a rarely enjoyed pleasure.
Seems like you're gonna cough up an airbag, man. You better chill out.
Of course, Mr. Sane.
Alright, well then, Fragger, let's do it.
By the way, some people in the audience, I just want to pause real quick and give my voice a chance to recover. You guys, I referred to the tank as a Mark 8 Bolo battlefield siege unit. That's from the Keith Laumer Bolo novels, which I do recommend you read. It will not spoil the game for any of you. But also, yes, Steve Jackson Games did release Ogre, and Mr. Jackson wanted to make a Bolo game. And he apparently reached out to Keith Laumer, and Mr. Laumer thought it was a dumb idea and said, "No, you can't." So, so he said, "Well, an intelligent robot tank that can fire nuclear shells and stuff like that is as long as I call it something different, I'm okay." So, Bolo, it's a very simple game. It's a lot of fun. Just requires 6-sided dice. baggy version that they sell on Steve Jackson Games website, and you can find on various online gaming stores, is fairly inexpensive. The pocket edition, I think, may still be $2.95, and it's good fun. It's good fun. Anyway, back to our own game. Yes, Kabuki, I do. All right, so you guys have been asked, and rest assured, it's not a railroad. Y'all could simply walk. You guys could simply go on, but he has asked you to do this. So it's
I'll do it. You guys want to do it?
Yeah,
the
let's do it.
Ogre Bundle box.
Well, I mean, it's ultimately your choice because you're the one that's most on the line. We can get you up to a certain point, it sounds like.
Yeah, and I don't really care. You know, if I die, I die. Death might be merciful compared to the relentless sun and the feeling of abandonment by the gods.
I guess who wants to live forever, huh?
That's right.
Oh, if nothing else, to go out with a bang.
Let's do it, probably. There could be only one of us that goes inside the fence, so good luck.
So just for some clarity. Oh, thank you very much, Robert. Thank you for the super. It's these guys. They're the good role players too. And I guess I'll just have to PayPal each of them $1. So one for me, one for each of you guys. Check your
You can
PayPal.
keep my buck.
Thank you, dear. All right, so so given that information, probably Sane, he asks very much if you will submit to a medical examination.
Sure.
Okay. They take you to a surprisingly clean medical. The room they have you in, it's cleaner than what the Meadow bot back at Sanctuary. How it's cleaner than he keeps his lab.
That's
Medical,
fantastic.
I want to go too.
Yeah, there's like the tang of alcohol in the air in this room you go in, and there are people. They look like they have some minor mutations, and they put you through a huge, long battery of tests. They draw out 2 ampules of your blood and put it into some machine of the ancients. They have you stand between these humming panels that move up and down, and they look at their, what about that? No, I think that's just a standard melanoma. Not an actual mutation. We can
Can Monday observe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
They're working with tech that is slightly better than what you have back at Sanctuary. Most of that stuff is kind of, you got to get do re mi in sometimes to percussive maintenance. Speaking of which, what is do re mi doing? You've been awfully quiet, Kevin.
I'd like to go. It doesn't sound like I'm going to be allowed, but I'd like to go. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to the trip.
Darth Brooks, yes. Welcome back, Darth Brooks. Haven't seen you in a heartbeat. So yeah. You guys watch as probably Sane is poked and prodded and examined, and they look at his ears, up his nose, down his throat, up his medical history.
Yeah, they got a fetish. I'm gonna pay them back.
All
Every
right.
once in a while, I'll like look at the results and ask questions that are pertinent.
So when they're more than happy to give you a little bit of information, and if you ever find one, if I ever declare that you find one, you may make a note on your character sheet about this.
Oh,
If
totally.
you find a medical scanner computer, you Monday do not have to make die rolls to figure out how to work it. If you
Okay.
find one that's in operable condition, you can you can work it to diagnose various disorders and so on. Not necessarily cure them, but this
Yeah,
will
that's a
make
whole
it.
other thing, but at
Yeah,
least you'll
that's
be able to
a
determine
whole
what
different thing.
is up. Okay, cool.
All right, and when all is said and done, with great ceremony, they open a clear plastic baggie and shake out this pure white garment. It's got a hood. It's got a respirator on it. It's got gloves. It's got boots. It's got a little, you're not sure how it's powered, but on the waist of it, there's a little box. And as they're holding it out to you, probably saying, they're like, this is the temperature control. You will adjust this because obviously it's very hot outside. You want to, don't touch the filtration. You'll want the normal filtration.
Yeah, whatever you say, man.
All right. So yeah, they put you in a Tyvek suit.
So
Right.
that's going to allow him to handle all of the radiation in the entire compound.
For a short period of time. Essentially, if we understand what the mission commander is going to have you do, this will ensure that no stray bioweapon particle, no radiological particles for the duration of your approach to the Guardian could potentially alter your genetic baseline.
Do you have a timekeeping device that he can have that would track how long he has before it becomes ineffective?
Oh, the suit's good for up to 24 hours, and it's not going to take you that long to simply walk up to the Guardian and do whatever it is that you're being asked to do.
Okay, good to know.
All right. So with the exception of probably Sane, the rest of you guys may put your armor back on as you are going to be comported back across the dusty plain to Minot.
I'm going to put my radiation suit and armor combo.
Okay. Michael says, you think I'm practicing my voices tonight? No. I'm just trying to bring good role play. Okay. They have an alcohol fueled ground vehicle. It's a bumpy ride. It's a truck basically. And you get within like half a kilometer and they stop and the driver says, "That's as close as I'm getting to this thing, boss. I might have 4 arms, but I want to keep all of them." Good luck. And sitting at the perimeter again is that massive land battleship. it has rotated its turret and it is pointed exactly at you guys, but it hasn't fired or anything.
Right, and that's just them. I'm traveling by some other means to wherever.
No, you're all with them. You're in
Right.
the truck as you're going, and he stops like half a click out, and even at that distance, at 500 meters, this thing is big enough you can just see that turret slew and point right at you guys.
So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to go out there.
Oh yeah, here's this, and he hands you a folded up yellowed piece of paper.
All right, I look at the paper.
Inside it, there is that flat, clear piece of material with the wavy lines on it. There is a note, a handwritten note that says, "Mr. Sane, just approach the bolo. Do not raise a weapon against it. On its hull, located on the drawing on the back of this piece of paper, or indicated on the drawing on the back of this piece of paper, you will find a crew entry hatch. Simply press the key against it until it opens."
All right, I'll attempt to do precisely that.
Okay. All right. So you guys watch. Rest of players, are you guys following him as he approaches, or are you staying with the truck?
Rex will go with him up until that. What do you say? 1 meter away.
Yeah.
So he'll go with probably up there.
All right.
I'll join him.
Yeah, do the
Stopping
same.
at that 1 meter.
Okay.
As long as the turret doesn't change its position pointing at her face or something like that.
So as you guys approach, the main turret stays pointed at the vehicle behind you. As you guys approach, you hear clicks and clanks, and you see plates sliding open, and for each one of you, there is a multi-barrel Gatling railgun pointing.
Oh, nice.
And it's tracking your every movements as you guys approach, but it's not firing. The good old anti-personnel batteries.
Yeah, I suppose that. I guess I'll tell everybody else to just hang back. I think at this point you go forward if you want, but that ain't on me. Just don't get me shot. I'm gonna try to climb up in there and open it up.
All right, I'll stop when he says that.
Okay.
I'll give him a thumbs up.
And standing this close, like the ground is humming. Whatever power source this thing has to move it as fast as you've seen it move, as big as it is, it could probably power an entire city. Like 24 of those villages that you just left.
Hey, probably if you can convince it to come home with us, that would be awesome. Just saying.
Something needs to happen.
Okay. You approach to a half meter. You approach to a quarter meter. You approach to a few centimeters.
Oof.
You are literally standing close enough to this thing to see the patina of dust on it.
Right, I'm supposed to climb up it and put this this key upon the hatch. Was the deal?
If you dare.
Yeah, I dare. Whatever.
Okay. You step forward, there's a whir and a click, and the anti-personnel turret that was pointing at you withdraws.
Sweet.
You are standing on the hull of a Mark 8 Bolo battlefield siege unit.
All right, I'll go ahead and do as instructed by the paperwork, and we use the key to open up the hatch.
Okay. Roll a D100 if you would, please.
Certainly.
We should have some die rolls tonight.
Tastes like burning.
That would be a 57.
Okay, yeah. You don't drop the key from your glove.
Yeah.
He's sweating a little bit there.
All right. Yeah, you slide it into the appropriate place, and there's a hiss. You have never seen an ancient piece of technology that didn't groan or complain or squeak or grind slightly, even the meticulously maintained ones. This metal hatch sliding back, other than the boom when it reaches its max detent, makes no sound. It's spooky.
That was like drooling.
It's awesome.
Yeah. There is a faint red light shining up out of there. Takes your eyes a minute to adjust looking into the darkness. But yeah, there's a faint red light and what can only be described as a tunnel that you can kind of hunt, lower yourself down in. It's not like you're going to be standing full up walking through, but you can definitely maneuver through it.
All right, and I was drinking them barley drinks, so I don't. What am I supposed to do now? I forgot.
Okay. Well, the only instruction you had was the paper. You still have the paper.
Right. And what did the paper say specifically? It said,
enter the command center.
Right.
And order the Bolo to go to standby.
All right. Well, then, is it apparent how I can order it to go into standby?
Well, you're still in the tunnel that leads deep into the guts of this thing, so.
Right. So I guess I'll proceed down the tunnel.
Okay. Yeah, it's 3 meters long, which is not a great distance, but when you consider that you're inside a vehicle, that's actually a very impressive distance.
Right.
So yeah, there's these red and yellow striped handles periodically. We'd say, pull here. And then there's places similarly marked no step. So you kind of move your way in and you're finally somewhere you can stand up. There's a really comfortable looking seat. It's occupied though. There is a desiccated body slumped in the seat. There is a spray of brown on the bulkhead next to it. And a somewhat corroded slug thrower lying on the deck next to this, and along with a crumpled up piece of paper.
All right, I'll shove the body out of the seat, the corpse out of the seat.
Okay.
Unroll the piece of paper, see if it says anything additional, and re-examine my paper and make sure that there's not some sort of instructions on how exactly I'm supposed to do this.
The crumpled up piece of paper, it's got a weird bit of poetry on it. Bombs fell, world went to hell, oh well, goodbye.
And I chuckle on the inside.
All right. It is time to consult the chart. Can you give me a D100 roll? Or, I'm sorry, a D6 roll. D6 roll. I was forgetting myself. Probably C.
That would be a 6.
All right, let me see here. Where is my... Sorry, I'm having problems opening the Gamma World PDF, which I thought was already open. There it is. Alrighty. So you've rolled a 6. A delightful journey through the Gamma World. Did I use the technology right? And I'm sorry, it's supposed to be a D10, but we're going to take the 6. We're just going to take the 6 and move on.
That works.
All right. You've seen Doe use this stuff before. I can use this crap. Give me. Yeah. So you type on a kind of a smallish keyboard, a little green screen, a little CRT, monochrome green pops up. You got it. Give me another roll. This time on D10. Okay, you're into the primary systems menu. Give me another D10 roll.
All right, something looks like it's promising in here, I guess.
Something looks like it's promising.
All right, let's do it. A 4.
You're not really sure how to get out of that menu. You're like, okay, tab, arrow down, enter. Why did it go back to the screen? Tab, arrow down, enter. So give me another D10 roll.
That would be a 3.
A 3, okay. You got it that time. Tab, shift, enter.
All right. Sweating bullets the whole time, I assume. You need another one?
Yes.
2. Even better.
Okay, you are down to the primary systems menu. One more roll.
I think I'm going to switch the die this time. A 3.
A 3. Same thing. You're kind of struggling with the interface.
Oh. All right. Well, let's roll again. Oof.
An 8. Okay. Screen blanks and comes back. It's different. It reads tertiary systems.
All right. And those, those seem basically irrelevant to me, would you say?
Yeah. It's life support, reactor maintenance, words that you don't understand.
Right. I'm going to try whatever I can to get back to the main menu, of course.
Okay.
Hopefully there's some sort of back or something. Ugh.
Okay, you are at systems, motive systems override.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess I'll do that.
All right.
Ugh.
7. Okay. You are back at an earlier menu. You're a few menus up from where you were, but you are at blanks and you're back.
All right, well, I suppose I'll continue to try it.
Okay.
Hopefully everybody understands that, that this could blow at any time.
Yeah. The rest of you see a fountain of blood go spraying out the hatch. Oh my God, that may actually happen.
It may.
No. Completely different menu. Not sure how you got there.
All right, I guess I'll keep screwing with it. That was a 3.
You are back to that tertiary systems override menu.
All right, hopefully I can make it back past that again.
All right.
Oh, a 1.
Main systems command, and you have options: standby mode, emergency shutdown, nuclear system scram. Just this is where you need to be. You know how to do what you need to do. You can now go to voice activation.
All right, yeah, I would like to do that.
Okay. A melodic kind of female voice says, greetings, greetings, Tank Commander. Please input command or speak.
Yeah, greetings. Why don't you just disarm anything until I tell you to arm it again? Can you do that?
Understand, and you hear this clunking sound somewhere behind and above you. Infinite repeater system disarmed. VLS systems disarmed. Anti-personnel secondary systems disarmed. Meanwhile, the rest of you out there, those multi-barreled guns, they all take like a quarter spin, which takes about a year off of each of your lives when they do that, and you hear zzz, and then you hear a clicking sound. They're still pointing at you, but nothing has happened.
Is there some sort of a computer? Is there some sort of radio in this thing?
Affirmative. The commander, you may use your vehicle commander's helmet, or I can open a communication channel.
Yeah, I'm looking for something. I'm looking for a loudspeaker, like on the outside.
Checking. Loudspeaker system now active.
Hey, this thing's pretty cool. Thank you. Hey guys, I think I disabled the weaponry. For now, I don't know though.
Do we hear anything or?
Oh, yeah. You guys heard that, so.
I'll move left or right to see if the gun follows me. Just to be safe.
Yes, it tracks you and it spins one full revolution. And you hear an ominous clicking sound coming from within it.
Yeah.
Probably sane. A screen pops up in front of you. There are your friends in high resolution in several different bands of viewing: visual, thermal, ultraviolet, radar, all that. And there are these rather wicked looking red circles with a cross through them over each of them. And you see what you think is Do Re Mi moving back and forth. And that red circle just holds steady on him.
Yeah, it's got you guys targeted, but I think I got control of it.
Commander, are you addressing the three individuals with that are 0.68 meters to my left?
Yes, they're not hostiles.
Acknowledged. You guys see all the anti-personnel batteries withdraw back in the hull.
Oops, try it again.
Okay, well, I mean, there's nothing pointing at me now, right? So
that is correct.
So I'm going to go where the hole isn't, and I'm going to try to climb up if I can. Is there ladders? What's on here to get up there?
Yeah, there's the standard tank climbing on points. What about Monday? What is Monday doing?
She's going to follow Joe and give a peace symbol to the tank. Say,
okay.
Thank you. I'm not hostile.
It doesn't say or do anything. Rex, your power armor, like you could fit like one of your legs down that hole that probably Sane went into. So what is Rex? Yay.
Rex is going to climb up there, but he's going to see if he can sort of find something to hold on to in case this thing takes off.
Give me a D10 roll, please.
Here we go.
You spend a few minutes looking around, and then you notice there is a spot on the hull. Actually, there are like 3 of them in a row that look like they were exactly made for the foot pads of your power armor and places for the manipulators to grab on. Like it was designed to, your power armor was designed to stand there.
That's where he'll stand.
Alrighty.
You got some holes in your boots or whatever, and it sticks on these pegs.
I never noticed the bottom of my power armor boot says Kenner.
Nice.
That might be
All
a
right,
little more
folks.
reliable.
You have, at least for the moment, managed to get the Bolo to follow your commands. And that's where we're going to leave it this week. What's going to happen next week? Will it continue to obey your commands? Who knows? We'll have to find out at the appropriate time. But I want to thank you all for being here. Sorry there was not the usual array of blowing holes in things, and I spent a lot of time on exposition, but this is the adventure I had planned. So thank you guys all for being here tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
That
of
was
course,
awesome.
thank you to our audience out there for being here. And I want to remind you all that tonight's live stream was brought to you by our friends at Hellabard Games. Hellabard makes the kind of adventures they'd like to play, whether it's for 5th edition, for Castles and Crusades, or for the OSR. Old School is in play at the table with Hellabard, and you can find them at Drive-Thru RPG or on their website, hellabardgames.com. It's linked below. And I want to say special thanks to Robert Phillips. Thank you very much for the super. I will be tomorrow at 3 Eastern. Myself and Yang Yan Zhao and Dungeon Minister will be over on Dungeon Minister's channel talking about all kinds of fun stuff. So be there for that. Don't miss that. I will be on the Speakeasy with Nerd Cognito, with Kyle over there. The Nerd Cognito folks have invited me to be on their show, and I am going to do it. So I do appreciate it, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I will be back next week in full force. But until then, whether they're radioactive or riding in a gigantic cyber tank, keep your eyes peeled for the owl bears. Love you all. Peace.
Have you seen my owl bear?
Night peeps.
Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take